Namaste, a very good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are and watching this session. I am Tasneem Ali, nutritionist and educator, lifestyle consultant, a motivational speaker from India. I will be your co-host for the day. I am so grateful to have you all for this today's session, and I would like to extend my gratitude to none other than a big man who has a big vision and a mission, Prince Pagridipalli, along with our managing director of CATTV.net and chairman of Life Foundation, Professor Dr. VJE Caroline Ma'am. And yes, none other than a great man behind all this event, Dr. Raja Rao Pagridipalli. This event will be telecast on CATTV and will be live recorded on YouTube channel. Before I get into the most awaited session, please subscribe our YouTube channel so that you can find all our videos, past and future. And also give us big like by pressing this button of like, as we will, and this will encourage and motivate us to make more of this kind of live events on creating awareness in addressing the current issues in the world. Today, we have gathered here to discuss the issues of sexual abuses. For this, we have a panel of 4 eminent speakers, and the theme is prevention of sex abuse. Sexual harassment refers to unwelcome sexual advances or verbal or physical conduct of sexual nature, which has effect of unreasonably interfering with the individual work performance or creating an intimidating, hostile, abusive, or offensive work environment. Sexual harassment can be perpetrated against both women and men. However, the majority of cases of sexual harassment in the workplace are perpetrated by men against women, as women often do not have equal status as men, lack of power, and are more in vulnerable and insecure position. While it is difficult to quantify the prevalence of sexual harassment in the workplace due to the varying definitions and perceptions of sexual harassment and reluctance of the harassed to report their experience, studies have revealed that sexual harassment at workplace is a reality for a large number of women. Sexual harassment is a serious form of sex discrimination, and it should not be tolerated, as it is undermine equality at work by calling into questions the integrity, dignity, and well-being of workers. All workers, both men and women, have the right to the workplace that it is protected, secure, free from discrimination and violence, and conducive to fulfill one's role and responsibility, as it is an arena where they spend a major percentage of the day. When sexual harassment occurs, there is a long-lasting negative and traumatic impact on individual, including psychological suffering, physical suffering, and professional suffering. To deal with this situation and to discuss the pros and cons of this, we have eminent speakers with us. I welcome you all. So first, I would like to welcome Afroza ma'am. She is from Bangladesh. Please, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And at the very beginning, I would like to thank Dr. Rajarao and the entire team actually for this wonderful concept. And obviously the concept is a contemporary one. Although we are online, we are virtual these days, but I believe that this is the right time where we can also identify or focus on this issue, because there are a lot of things like you mentioned that we need to address regarding sexual harassment these days. Now, with your permission, I'd like to share my screen, but I think I need access from you. So would you please give me that access?
Sure, ma'am, sure. Sir will give you the access.
Yes. Okay, maybe I don't know why, but I can't share the screen. So let me start with my presentation actually without the screen. And if it comes actually in the middle, probably there's internet issue at this place where I'm right now. So I'll be back with my presentation slides, but let me begin my presentation. And yes, obviously, at the very beginning, I'd like to mention that today my topic is on sexual harassment at our workplace. And yes, it's the right time to say that we are harassed. Now, what is sexual abuse? Well, actually, threatening or forcing someone to have sex or provide sexual favors under unequal or forced conditions. It could include sexual intercourse, harassment, or molestation. And we all know that, yes, of course, it may include several sexual intercourse, harassment, or molestation, and it can lead to long lasting, even lifelong consequences. So, this is very crucial, which we need to think now at this moment, and is a serious problem on an individual, familial, and societal level. Well, of course, sexual harassment is not something always individual. Rather, it has a huge impact in our society, and it has a huge impact in our family, of course. Now, there are a lot of examples of sexual exploitation and humanitarian worker requiring sex in exchange for material assistance, favors, or privileges. This could be an example of sexual exploitation, and teacher requiring sex in exchange for passing grade. So this is something very crucial, and we are familiar with this type of issue. I have also seen portrayal of this issue through television, through drama serials, through movies. So this is something very alarming. And yes, of course, sex with a commercial sex worker. Well, sometimes this could be also a kind of sexual harassment. But yes, of course, this is a simple example of sexual exploitation. Well, as sex worker, it's not mandatory to have sex with her without her consent. So consent or permission or willingness definitely is important, even for a sex worker. Without that, well, we can call it sexual exploitation. And then driver requiring sex to give a girl a ride to the next village. This is also an example. And one person is in power getting sex in exchange for something the more vulnerable person needs. Well, this could be also an example of sexual exploitation. Now, yes, of course, there are a lot of cost of sexual harassment individuals. If we mention different type of cost, there are a lot of cost actually, and these individual harassment costs in regarding individuals include psychological suffering, which includes humiliation, reduced motivation, loss of self-esteem, and loss of trust. Well, all these are so important because it has a direct psychological connection, and it is directly associated with our psychology, with our inner being, of course. So yes, of course, this is a severe cost of individual sexual harassment. And yes, behavioral change, including isolation, emotional withdrawal from friends, family, and co-workers. This is also something crucial. And then stress-related physical and mental illness, including sleep disturbances. Now, sleep disturbances, stomach ailments, and drugs and alcohol. So a lot of issues are connected with this harassment, this kind of harassment. So, well, this is so very important to rightly address at this moment. And then, well, of course, there are professional losses. And yes, foregoing career opportunities and the fear of leaving in employment. We can't ignore all these. Now, regarding employers and enterprises, well, what are the costs of sexual harassments? Well, they are obviously a little bit different than the individual cost. For example, regarding employers and enterprises, we see that there could be low productivity. So yes, if you think of a workplace, low productivity is something which is due to impaired judgment, maybe it could come from compromise, teamwork, then it could come from demotivation, absenteeism, and high turnover. So definitely this reflects in all these fields. And then hindered progress and innovation due to lack of trust and team spirit. And then apart from all these, poor image of company. So yes, we shouldn't forget this, that ultimately there could be, a kind of very poor image of the company if the environment or the situation is not that convincing for both male and female workers, and specifically for female workers. And yes, no applicants will fill vacancies of workplace where they fear sexual harassment. So yes, all these are so important. Now, if we think of reasons of sexual harassment, well, there are a lot of reasons which we can mention. Now, I may first start with embarrassment and humiliation about the incident. So yes, of course, embarrassment and humiliation of a specific incident is definitely a reason of sexual harassment, and fear that the matter will be trivialized. That is also something so important. So yes, of course, apart from all these, there are a lot of other things like a sense of insecurity that they will not be believed. So this is also evident in our society. Sometimes we see that the victims have this kind of sense of, insecurity, that even if they share their feelings with their family members, they may not believe them. So this is the scenario in most of the cases with the victims. And then hesitation that the institution will not take any action. So there is the hesitation always. And it specifically happens with the female employees, of course. And this then being asked to leave or to take a transfer. This is the thing which we face, which the victims face, female victims face at their workplace. If they're sexually harassed and if they complain, they have that fear to leave the workplace or take a transfer. But why would that happen? Why? And then dread of becoming a subject of gossip and further humiliation, a fear of negative, repercussions and retaliation from the harasser. So that is also something the victims assume in most of the cases. And then a fear of negative repercussions, of course, that I have mentioned, fear of being blamed for either inviting or even for raising the issue for addressal. Now, look at this scenario. There's always that fear also that, well, maybe I would be blamed for inviting that specific person towards me. So, yes, there are a lot of other reasons. Now, how to prevent this sexual assault in the workplace? I believe this is the question at this moment. How we can prevent this? Well, we can monitor our workplace. We can monitor. But yes, of course, it has lots of other issues which needs to be addressed at the same time. And getting out among our employees periodically and talking to them about the work environment. So yes, I believe that if we can discuss, if we can talk about, even some regarding some petty issues with all my colleagues at my workplace, I think we may come up with something innovative, or we may come up with something positive, which may not lead us, to leave that place or to face that kind of harassment at my workplace. And then taking all complaints seriously. Yes, this is the thing which we should think of at this moment. We can't let go any complaint. Rather, we need to take all complaints very seriously. If someone complains about sexual harassment, or acting immediately to investigate the complaint is important. Now, apart from all these, there are also some visual forms of sexual harassment. Why I am mentioning some visual forms? That's because we are online these days. We are visual these days. So there are some visual forms as well. For example, presence of sexual visual materials such as posters, cartoons, drawings, calendars, pictures. All these may could be visual forms of sexual harassment, and then written materials, for example, notes, SMS, email, and also knickknacks and other objects of a sexual nature. They all can represent the visual forms of harassment. And then there are some non-verbal forms as well, non-verbal forms. And I believe we are mostly familiar with all these types. For example, staring, sizing up a person's body, sizing up a female's body, and then derogatory gestures of a sexual nature, sexually suggestive looks, facial expressions of a sexual nature, winking, licking lips, and then, yes, stalking. Stalking is something very, very prominent in our society these days. And yes, of course, there are a lot of other examples. For example, male supervisor asking a female staff to stay back late in the evening, and then a male program manager maybe asking his newly married male colleague about his sex life, and then new female employee being told by her supervisor that its project funds are low, so you'll have to share the hotel room with him, blah blah blah, etc. And then maybe a female worker has said no to her supervisor's advances, and now he's constantly finding
Afroza ma'am,
faults.
you have to please
Yes.
wind up a little early, because we have given allotted 12 to 15 minutes for each speaker. So can you
Okay.
please come to a conclusion?
Yes, this was actually the end, and this is the last point which I wanted to mention, that the list is actually big. It's big, it's not small. So yes, after knowing the reasons, obviously we'll have to think that, well, yes, how can we prevent them at our workplace? Because we are employers, we have employees, and this is the right time when we think of visual or virtual or verbal harassments as well. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for your kind patience.
Thank you so much, Afroza ma'am. Thank you for your very insightful talk. And yes, direction of creating awareness is very necessary. An educating society is necessary by visuals, by non-verbal things. For children, for women is very necessary. And you're rightly said, if you say, as our team suggests, no means no. You cannot have sex without anyone's consent, anyone's permission. Very well said, ma'am. So for second speaker, I would like to invite Dr. Reena Tandon, ma'am. She is a post trainer. Welcome, ma'am. Post compliant expert. Sorry, she's a post compliant expert.
No problem, Jasleen. Thank you so much for that warm welcome, and it's totally okay. I think we are today with a lovely family, and that's with lovely Mr. Raja Rao and Caroline ma'am, and this World Peace Commission and the entire family is always very special to be on. And today is a very interesting day because I'm speaking on the topic that I really vouch for and I work for, and that's the power of human rights, women rights, and the child rights. I think POSH is Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act. And as we have already heard, Afroza Akhtar Tina speaking about how she knows about the POSH and how sexual harassment is to her, maybe in her perspectives, we can look at how this has been propagated in India. Interestingly, in India, POSH Act, or the Sexual Harassment Act, like we call it, it has certain guidelines. And being a legal practitioner, the founder of Right to Rise, we are India's first and only organization, ISO certified, working into POSH, POXO, human rights and stress, talking more about what are these unwanted, unwelcome sexual advances, and also working on the legal front to deal with them. Let's make it a little simpler for you. And I have made a simple PPT that we can show to you in the most beautiful and the simpler way for all of us to know. So before, I think it says host disable participant screen sharing. So you will have to give me that rights, Tasneem Ali.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you're co-host.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so this is your PPT right in front of you. That's Sexual Harassment Act for Women at Workplace. That's POSH Act in India. Every act of the sexual harassment in different countries operates differently. It is a different law in USA, different law in UK, different law in Australia, and different law in Singapore and many other countries. But in India, it is called POSH, which is Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act for Women at Workplace, Prevention, Prohibition, Redressal. What this act does is basically, it gives you two major important, actually three, but we'll make it two important things. One, it talks about dignity and rights of women. And why women? Because we are looking at women at workplace. I think my voice is echoing. Yes, now it's not. Okay, so we are talking of women at workplace because even today we see women as the vulnerable class of our society. We still see them as a very feeble part of our society in terms of power, in terms of position, when we are taking men and women as a whole in our equality system, or in our system where we say man and women are equal. Okay. Yes, man and women are equal. And today women have been very fortunate breaking the glass ceilings, being able to hit the maximum leadership positions, allowed to make decisions, allowed to grow very enabling as thought leaders. But there are certain areas of the societal concepts that we need to know that women can't cross, and same is with men. We also have certain biases, and that biases also have to be met, and that's why we have this law. So two important things, that this law is only and only applicable to women at workplace, not to general women in society. If anybody undergoes abuse, today we say no means no. That means we are talking about not silencing out to abuse or harassment or pornography. But in case we are being sexually abused in the society, then we need to go and reach out to certain bodies of the government. Like in India, we have in Maharashtra, we have She-Box. We also have the Women and Child Development Cell. We have the National Commission Cell and many other bodies who we can reach out either through apps or through their websites. And every state has a different system because the government has given the power and the position for every state to operate in its own flexible way, free ways, but yet follow the Constitution of India, which defines the POSH Act and taking care of prevention, prohibition, and redressal, so that tomorrow anybody is undergoing abuse, we can formulate a proper system. And this helps you create a safe working environment. So just like we knew just with the prior speaker, we want to create a system that is free from abuse, harassment, discrimination, and outgoing, so that there is no fear, there is no discrimination, and all of us can be very productive. We can highly operate with maximum potential. Second, be aware this is a zero tolerance act. So even if you do the smallest to smallest kind of abuse, for example, we are online and we feel that abuse doesn't happen online, very sorry to say, we can still stay online and we can still say some kind of abusive language or communication about somebody's looks, somebody's face, somebody's hair, somebody's tattoo mark, somebody's birthmark, or we can even complain about their body shaming or discriminating them about their hair, about their fat, about their thin, about their tall, about their looks, which make them feel uncomfortable, also about their lifestyle, and also if they are from a different gender. It is not a crime to be of a different gender. And today we have across 10 or 12 genders other than male and female that we know of. Some of them to mention is LGBTQ, QR+, and bisexual, and many more. A little riddle for you, which will come back to you at the end of the session. Let's understand, why are we doing this? Why are we talking about these abuses today? This act has come in 2013, but we are talking of it more today because the biases are getting forwarded, even though we are becoming more and more, we are coming into the 22nd century. And we are very, very forward speaking people, even in terms of our pandemic hitting us. We have really progressed well. As different nations across the globe, still we are united. Where we don't unite or we are not able to unite is the mindset that we carry in terms of the biases. The patriarchal norms, the biases, the perceptions, the different way we look at different sectors of the people, the individuals. We need to start changing the way we look at people, friends. We should stop judging people from the time we look at them in the first 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, if this lady is like this, then probably she is from this sector of the world and she's going to be this boring, or she's going to be this interesting, or she's going to be not very captivating, or she's not going to give me what I really need. Any other biases that you carry about a person the minute you look at them or the minute you see them talking. It is important that we break those biases. And tell me, who is that wonderful lady by which we have got this important law that fights for the rights of women? That is Bhavari Devi or Banwari Devi, the real role model for us in India to have such a prevalent and promising and a very strong, courageous act. She was the lady who was being raped in Rajasthan in 1992 when she was stopping child marriages, and that is why we have such an important act. And they say no means no. That means it's a strict no for no forms of sexual harassment, whether it is physical, unwanted touch, feel, or it is any other form of abuse, pornography, body shaming, any kind of physical touch, any kind of unwanted feeling, hostile environment, creating a physical touch, getting too close to people, whistling, singing songs, having sexually colored ringtones, sexually colored remarks, impressing somebody to just make them feel or making them feel or touch some unwanted part. Anything that comes under this table comes under sexual harassment. And the case was called Vishaka versus State of Rajasthan. That was Bhavari Devi case, which became our Sexual Harassment Act. And that is what defines your sexual harassment. To stop any form of abuse, no woman shall be subjected to sexual harassment or discrimination at workplace. It can include any one of the criteria which we have already mentioned. And yes, in United States, in UK, all these articles come very differently. There can be different forms of sexual harassment, like already mentioned. It can be either this or that. It can be, if you don't do this, Tasneem ma'am, then I will do that. If you don't come with me for a coffee, Mr. Raja Rao, then I will not give you a post in the leadership position. If it is not that you're going to give in for a sexual consent, then you will not see yourself in this place of work, but you will be thrown out. So it could be any form of quid pro quo, hostile, creating a difficult environment for a person who doesn't give in for any sexual consent, physical touch, conduct, verbal conduct, non-verbal conduct, any form of sexually colored remarks or more. Yes, it can be any one of these: flirting, blocking the path, staring, obscene gestures, suggestive, inappropriate humor. Even that is not acceptable. If you like something, doesn't mean the other person should like the same and laugh at it. So be very conscious of the unaware things that you do in front of people, feeling that it's okay, but it's not. So with this, I will bring you to the last part. This is a very important law and it has a lot of provisions. Remember, sexual harassment is not something that you can play with. Stopping harassment is very important, friends. This is going to help you reach out to the whole world and tell them that yes, POSH is something, sexual abuse, sexual harassment is something that we should not agree to or give in to. So say stop to sexual harassment and abuse and sexually colored remarks and pornography, and do not silence out if you undergo any one of them. Thank you so much. That is Dr. Advocate Prana Khatri Tandon from Mumbai, Maharashtra, working into POSH, FOXO, human rights and stress, essentially working into certifications, trainings, compliance and auditing of Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act and Prevention of Child Offences Sexual Abuse. Thank you very much, Raja Rao sir, the World Peace Commission, Caroline ma'am, and lovely Tasneem Ali with great dignitaries here for hearing me. If there's anything I could do to save this world and create safer societies, please do reach out to me. You can always be a part of my organization, Right to Rise, and our foundation, RKT Foundation. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Reena Khatri ma'am. And salute to your work, what you're doing for the society. Thank you for making us understand about POSH, its aim. Yes, prevention, prohibition, redressal, very necessary. Patriotic norms, biases, the way we look at people, the way we judge, we should stop all this thing. We have no right to judge people or to make any remark on anyone's. And yes, creating awareness to adopt zero tolerance attitude. Any kind of sexual harassment and discrimination should not be tolerated. No women should be subject to sexual harassment and discrimination at workplace. Never. Say no. No means no. Do not silence out. Every woman should have a right to speak. Thank you so much, ma'am. So for next speaker, I would like to invite Supriya Kumara Vellam, ma'am. She is a soft skill trainer and a social activist. Welcome, warm welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Tasneem. Yatra naryastu pujante, ramante tatra devta. Where women are worshipped, there is the existence of God. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Supriya Kumar Velan and already have been introduced by Tasneem, so no need to take a deep dive in my intro. Anyhow, I'm an international speaker, global motivational speaker, and keynote too, and I am currently associated with the advisory board member of Positive Thoughts Consulting and Training Solutions. Before I take a deep dive with you all, let me ask you a simple question, and for this, give me the permission for sharing screen. Thank you. All right. I will ask you one question. And ladies and gentlemen, you can use your chat box or you can speak. I would love to listen my audience. If I say a sari wearing women, and if I say a modern miniskirt wearing, whom you will say the chances are more for sexual abuse, she is the more victim, whom you will say, sari or miniskirt? Please type in the chat box. Yeah, chat box is in front of me. Both. Caroline, ma'am, wonderful. Very nice, Ranaji. Super. Great.
Both
Definitely
have high chances because it's all about mindset.
Wow. Of course, Tasneem, I am 100% agree with you. It's all about your HOTS, that is high order thinking skills, mindset. A mindset doesn't mean that a sari wearing women will have more chances or less chances, or a mini skirt wearing girl will have more chances. This is all in our mindset, all the development given society. This is all our society has made. So today in this 15-minute session, I'm going with everyone a deep dive. What is sexual abuse? Already we all known by Miss Afroza, and Miss Rana has given a wonderful initiatives and inputs. So let me take another one. And I would love to ask questions with my audience. When we celebrate Women's Day, Happy Women's Day. Anyone? Yeah, the hint is in March.
The 8th of March is a Women's Day.
Yes, superb, Tasneem. We celebrate Women's Day. We salute Jhansi Ki Rani. We salute Indira Gandhi. We salute all the dignitaries, strong personalities of women. We worship Durga. We worship Kali. Then why we need to talk about sexual abuse, rape, and leave about women, even small girl, where we say, thank you, Ambrish Noor Ahmed Ji Marchet. Thank you so much. Being a male, you know, that's brilliant. Okay, so when we are talking about women, Durga Puja, this puja, that puja, in that particular society, we are facing this criminous crime which can't be tolerated. When we are talking about respected women, and leave about women, leave about child abuse. A recent incident has happened that has put everybody head down in the shame when a 60 years that our granny age has been raped. Then I think it's really, really a shameful act to listen and to digest. And moving ahead, when we are talking about this most important topic of sexual assault, sexual abuse, let me tell you, this is the sick mentality of a man who is really sick. I am not using any high-fi words. I am talking in a layman language. Why these things are happening? Maybe they are unaware. They see, as Ms. Rana has told about the verbal body languages like winking, seeing a woman from only one angle, and they will think women is only a machine to lure them, to produce kids, and when a man won't respect. Second thing, when a man don't think of women from a goddess point of view, he will think that yes, she is just a material to enjoy. This is the sunken mentality which has to be abolished. And trust me, folks, now you will say this is only the mentality of a lower grade man. Aha, no. Even the sexual abuse which is happening, it is not an outsider person. All these things are happening by your mama ji, dur ka rishtedar, or your chacha ji. One incident I would like to throw a light, when a small kid, 8 years, I didn't remember the name, she's complaining to her mother, Mama, today Chacha ji has behaved, my uncle, maternal uncle has behaved. He has touched my private parts. So ladies and gentlemen, don't think that this abuse can be happen only from outsiders. You have to be, as a parent, as a teacher, we have to be very, very careful in the home, whether you're outside. And if I talk about, let's talk about women first. I do believe, I don't know whether you will agree with me or not. Women, try to be fiery. That number one tips I would like to give to everyone. With a fiery woman, things will not be that much crazy. So maintain your strongness, willness, even you're surrounded by problems, but never let you down. Never let your weak emotions to get over on you. So have a fiery nature, which I personally suggest. And if I talk about child abuse, which is in my first and foremost important thing, always be comfortable and friendly to your kids when asking these questions. Most of the kids were undergoing all these things when they're going to school, when they're going in a school bus, when they're going in a playground. We parents have to be a little bit touchy, friendly, asking all these questions so that your kid should not feel shy and tell you what he or she is undergoing or she is getting abused or not. And third thing, we are always talking about don't go after 6, don't go after 7 to our young ladies. Many ladies are in the night shift. One case I would like to throw upon in Hyderabad, Dr. Priyanka. She was a doctor and it was her duty to move out after 7. But what happened with her? And the great Nirbhaya case, that really brutally, she was raped and the case went 7 years. Just think, whatever the things their parents have gone through, the pain and the sleepless night. So it is not about education, clothes, kids. It's about the mentality and it's about the alertness. And when we are talking about the alertness, one thing I would like to share with you all. In Delhi, when I was there in that time, if we talk about the statistical data, it is increasing. And I don't know What is the real reason for all these? That from the graph has gone steep. There is no slowdown. And it is all about the mentality, not clothes. There is a difference between modernity and vulgarity. So modernity, being modern, doesn't mean you are vulgar. Be modern with your thoughts. Modernity blends with tradition. That is the focus we need to focus. So if we see the statistical data from 2010 to 2016, in India, I'm talking about, it is the cases where rape, sexual harassment, kidnapping, cruelty, molestation. Sometimes we are blaming our government. Government is not putting the Saudi rules. Then who will think? We are making big rules, this fast track and that fast track. But the things which is happening with a girl, who is responsible for our society? The vultures who says yatra naryastu pujyante and all those blah blah blah. But ultimately, what they are doing? Are we safe? Every woman wants to work outside, but still we have a fear. If we go outside, something happens, what we will do? And it's a normal thing. So think and think and think. And then only we can get the solution. All right. Now, we all know about sexual abuse in formal body languages, winning and winking and all those things, which my colleague already have described in a very beautiful manner. First thing which we all people have to know is to promote social norms and protect against violence. We girls, ladies are ourselves, we are feeling shy. If we are sexually abused, we will not speak it up. Are बेइज्जती हो जाएगी, बदनामी हो जाएगी. We need to change the society mindset. If anybody is sexually harassed, she should go and she should complain against that monster, not to care for the society. The society will never ever help you. Only they will enjoy a newspaper, and tomorrow your case will come. And skills to prevent sexual violence, which I will be taking in this form. You need not to be a master, karate champion or martial art. Even in Tamil Nadu, there is one something, Selva Battam, something is there. I am not knowing the exact name, where we teach how to self-defense yourself by a rod, by a danda, or by a talwar bazi. And of course, our karate and martial arts are in the top list. So these are the things, these are the self-defense techniques which every woman should undergo, should know when she is surrounded by these monsters. This is a real life, folks. This is not this is not a real life. This is a real life. No hero or actor is going to come and save. Nobody is Shah Rukh Khan that he will come or save you. We are the saviors of ourselves. Ladies are keeping pepper spray in their handbag. Very nice. But still, we need to teach, we need to promote our ladies, our kids. These are self-defense techniques. And if I talk about creative protective environments, create that environment that people should be comfortable enough. A comfort zone should come. You should feel free to talk to my mom. See, this thing happened in a bus. What should I need to do? Or somebody is winking an eye when I was sitting. Or my boss is not good. I should feel free to tell to my husband. So that environment, comfortable, is very, very must. And of course, support victim survivors to lessen harms. This is also very important that we need to take care. So these are some of the things which I wanted to share with you all on this platform. And I haven't taken much hi-fi words or because I don't know anything about more. So tried my level best to express myself. And if I talk about, already I have covered this. But folks, on the name of women empowerment, let me talk about the negative side of my coin. Now I talk about this side. Now let me take the negative side of my coin. We women, on the name of these laws, or the name of women empowerment, I will not say all the women, but something is going in a very bad shape. We are misusing our laws. We are saying this. But self-defense doesn't mean this, or this. If we have given our self-defense, it is only for our protection, not for beating others, or not for just to crack some humor on this. I took this slide up. So women empowerment, if some government has given few good laws, don't disrespect those laws and don't bring a shame or a black spot on women. Don't misuse the laws. Always create the laws and respect the laws. So we have to focus on the dark side as well as on the positive side. Now, when we talk about child abuse, this is really, really threatening to parents. And even I heard one school it happened in the last year. It came, I don't know which school, but it happened in the school by that principal or by that tutor. So as a parent, please take care of your kid, whether she is going anywhere. I'm not telling always be a follower and ask all the questions and irritate them and inspire them that we are not trusting you. Show your concern, but not a over possessive person. Take care. Ask time to time, beta, are you free? Anything, any problem is happening in your school or anywhere, tuition center. So he or she will tell. And please, monster on vultures, you can find everywhere. Everywhere, I tell you. Your house, your relatives. Dur ke rishtedar is really a threatening word for me. Because when I open newspaper, news channel, it will show same or other name. So child abuse, they are kids. They are the future of this nation. They are small, budding flowers. How can we crush? And when a person is thinking of crushing them, what kind of a mentality he is possessing, I don't have knowledge. I can't express that hatred towards those monsters. So this is all coming from my heart. Not did any study or survey. And one program which used to come, Satyamev Jayate by Amir Khan. I really loved one episode when he taught about the good touch, bad touch, and in a very lucid manner. Sometimes we parents feel very shy how we will take about sexual education, how we will tell about the good words, good touch, bad touch. But really, if we can't express those things, better be a visual learner. Show the program, show the good program. Teach them what is good, what is bad touch, and try to maintain their peace of mind. At the same time, we can teach some good knowledge to them so that they won't be a victim of child abuse. And trust me, friends, I interviewed one girl. She was a victim of child abuse. And she said, I can't go to in a very crowded place. They will touch here, there. I said, it has happened. Yeah, it happened when I was in class 6. Still, those bad memories will always be there. You will forget good memories, but the hurting, paining, these things will always hamper in nurturing your personality. You will lose confidence. You can't face the people. You can't maintain good body language, good eye language, because you were the victim. So please try to teach your kids, if not possible, through programs, through counseling. And I'm sure we are going to be the best parents if we teach these things. And I will not take much more time. I will say only one thing. Let's make that India again. Sone ki chudiya, we always used to say, na? Save India, make India. When there will be a Mother Teresa, Kalpana Chawla, and Indira Gandhi. And we will say, feel proud, whether it is 6 o'clock in the evening or 8 o'clock in the night, we will always feel happy and safe. So guys, let's make safe India, and all women should be respected. All girl child should be respected. without any fear. Let's be free from inside and take our dreams up to a certain height level. So stop harassment, and prevention of sexual abuse can only be happen when each and every responsible citizen of India takes on that we will not allow this anymore in our society. So thank you so much, and I hope I could bring something taken out from my heart. It is all what I felt. Thank you so much, Tasneem, and thank you so much, Mr. Rajaram and Caroline ma'am.
Amazing, Supriya ma'am. Amazing. It was a wonderful speech. And yes, Dur ke rishtedar, because I can relate this thing, my today's incident only. I have a maid at my place. Her younger sister, she's 10 years old. She has been kidnapped by their own Dur ke rishtedar from last 2 days. And I was working with the SOD of Dabli police station and IO, Jhawar Saab. From last 2 days, we were searching, and that girl was, 3 streets back from their house only. And we were relentlessly searching, like it was 2 days, and finally we got her today in the morning. And all the police we got done at her medical also. And so, like, Dur ke rishtedar, yes, you cannot trust your own rishtedar. So you told very nicely that HOTS, high order thinking skill. Your mindset is everything. Its modernity is not in wearing your modern clothes. Its modernity is in your thinking level, your attitude, how you think, how your attitude shows how educated you are, right? And you said you shared some trick, like the first one is fiery women. I must say, even kids, even everybody should be feared. They know how to take stand for themselves. Even we have to teach to the slum kids also, not even our kids or our female, even the slum kids. And this type of skills, which are defense skills, which are running, it should be, I mean, like government should come out with such programs that each and every child, they should teach the skills to protect themselves. Because I've seen that girl today, the face, by the grace of God, nothing happens to her. She was completely safe. Chaku pe usko, they were threatening them. I don't know for them, but at least the medical was all. I'm like, she's safe. Nothing wrong happens to her. So very nice, very amazing session. So now I would like to invite our next speaker. She is.
Team Anuja has raised hand. I can see that.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I am Anuja Malik from Positive Thoughts, and I am the content head over there. I have a question to Supriya ma'am, Supriya Kumar Villan ma'am. How does the kids come to know that they are sexually harassed, and how can we teach our kids so that they are not the victim of child abuse? I think it's a mixture of two questions.
Okay, very nice question and very intellectual question too. First thing I would like to tell you, Anuja, we need to be a friend first, then a strict mama papa. And second thing, we all are busy in our work. We are hardly giving any time to our kids. So try to take out those precious moments and asking them. And how it has been, you ask one question, how we will come to know that it has been or not. So that you have to ask them, explore them, and try to become a friend first. And I think when you are a friend, they won't shy anything to tell you something that this thing has happened. So first, give time to your kids and be a strict father or a mother, a busy person, be a friendly person, friendly mom. That's what I can say.
Thank you so much. Absolutely correct.
Thank you so much, Supriya ma'am. So now I would like to invite our next and last speaker, Dr. Loveleen P. Yo. She is an award-winning writer and peace educator. She has joined.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Okay. First of all, I would like to apologize for being late.
No problem, ma'am. You're most welcome.
Okay. Yeah. Sexual abuse is an evil permitted, whereby a woman is treated like an object, and her voice gets raped, and all the blame puts on her. This harassment can have a lasting, devastating effect on the victims, on their families, because mostly there's the stigma attached to them, those who are sexually abused. There's this shame they carry as society tends to portray them. This inappropriate or unwelcome advances takes place in workplaces, isolated places, on the road, in doctors' offices, and sadly, in some homes, daycare, and schools. Some days ago, there was news of a 21-year-old undergraduate student who stabbed a man to death. She recounted how she had said no. She was tired and she didn't want sex. But the man forced his way and kept strangling her. He even hit her head on the wall. She tried if he had respected her, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. My first question is, does a woman have a right and her feelings? Doesn't she need to be respected or treated with dignity? Society have projected women to be disposable, only meant to satisfy the man's urges whenever, as well as his stomach. This has led to many sexual assault in homes. There was also a scenario of a woman who got battered by her husband to pulp just because she felt sickly and she said no. And I could recall the man in quote when he was arraigned. He said, yes, it was his right. He paid for her. He paid for her body. So whenever he wants it, he should be given to it. This is really insane. It's sickening. I would like to thank the Life Foundation for this platform, for trying to redress the societal issue and for finding ways to stop the abuse from happening in the first place. My proposal will be proper orientation is necessary to educate every man, every woman, every couple, even the growing children. If we do not want these ills to gain more potency into the future, then we need to groom the future. Also, let's teach them young the essence of morals, discipline, and respect for each other. Let them treat others like they want to be treated. To couples, love isn't sex. Love is understanding. Love is care. Love is not violence. Violence of any form against women is always wrong, be it a spouse, be it a boyfriend, be it anyone. Love is never by bullying. Love is never by force. Your union should be founded on true love above all else. Then other things would work right. Our body is our body. A body may be yours only when you put yourself in our shoes and respect our choice and the right. Never exploit your partner. So I also would like to suggest the media also take this as a point of duty to create awareness, to address this issue on a daily theme program. Just a little, like a little second, displayed daily for people to see. And then stringent methods, stringent measures should be implemented. There should be promotion of social norms that prevent violence. Then, to employers of labor, there should be creation of a protective environment. Then to survivors, I plead with them, speak up. Don't take it as a shame. The power lies in you speaking up, reporting, because this problem calls for an action. Silence would only amplify it, but when you speak up, solution would come. Then know your right and stick to it. Understand it's your right to say no. It's your right to say yes. When you say no, stick to the no. Even at the doctor's office, ask reasons why some examinations are being carried out. If you're not comfortable, ask for somebody else to join in. Then, also to prevent sexual abuse amongst children, we should educate minors. Let them know their private areas remains private, not to be touched. Let them know also social contact, that sexual contact is illegal. Keep the lines of communication open. Be like the best friends to your children. Have a friendly, open chat with them. Let them know you are available at any time to share anything with, including secrets. Keep checking on them. Check on their socials, on their phones, their laptops. Just be vigilant. Also, to the young ones, never leave a drink unattended to avoid it being spiked with, such as the dates, rape drug. Act responsible and keep good company and stay alert to your surroundings. I would also like to share a poem I wrote on this. I call it A Full Stop. Oh, stop the violence. Let's annihilate the darkness. She's not a tool. She's not to be seen as a fool. Subjecting her to male persecution with tongues of discrimination. You must not hit on her. You must not pounce on her. What if you were her? Would you accept what you do to her?
Dr. Lavleen,
But
please,
if,
actually we are running short of time, so please can you conclude, because
okay.
yeah, this session will anyway going to be end in a couple of minutes, so please conclude.
Okay, if she were to be, okay, let me.
Yes.
Remember, a woman is no toy. She's no doll. She's no animal you can gore. Treat all her with respect. A human like you, not an object. Respect and honor. She's deserving. Stop the bullying stop sexual abuse, stop emotional abuse. To every violence, let's put a full stop to it. Thank you very much, Dr. Loveland P.A. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. So lovely. Thank you for your views on this topic. And you're right. You're yes, right. That we should teach children the name of their body parts. Make sure that children know that not only the genital private part, but the body should not touch them in a way that make them feel uncomfortable. We should teach them the bad touch and a good touch. You are correct. Thank you so much. And for this, we have some guests also, and I would like to ask Professor Mike if he has any view on this topic. Professor Mike, please share some of your views because you are from the beginning with us. Professor Mike, are you there? Okay. So now I would like to call Professor V.J. Carolina ma'am and for conclusion and to put her views on this topic.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am, for inviting me. As we are running out of the time, I would like to conclude with the 1 or 2 points. Yeah, excellent information we got. It is really important. What we understood through the messages of all the eminent guest speakers, there is no safety for girl, child, and woman. Every place is a threatening place, right from home to office. So train is a threatening, traveling place is a threatening, hotel is a threatening, working place is a threatening, home is a threatening. So how it has to be overcome, how these barriers, how to put up how to overcome these barriers and make the hurdles into a boon. So here, what I feel is, first of all, we need to educate. Till now, we have learned that parents should be very close to girl child and they have to talk very intimately and find out what is going on in the school and around. I feel that male, that is boy or male, they are harassing, sexual harassment is seen for a girl or a woman. So that this boy mother is again a female gender. So first of all, we have to take the root. We have to move to the root. So mother, that is all the female gender should be educated first. How after becoming parent, mother, how she has to take care of the male child, a boy. So that is very important. I always feel when I see, even recently I have noticed the rape, the 6 years girl in slum. She was raped very badly and the boy must be known to that girl and they killed the child also, 6 years baby girl. So this is the condition. So there is no age bar, 6 years to 60, 80. They would like to rape. They want to have all the enjoyment. So mother should educate the boy child. She has to bring him up in a right direction. And she has to educate what to do, what not to do. So if she guide the boy child properly, rightly, he will not harass any girl, not even is going to create any kind of domestic violence or sexual harassment to his wife even. So the root is again the female. Female are getting a lot of trauma, undergoing a lot of trauma. They are a lot of stress and they are in traumatized situation because of this male gender. So it is important, I would like to say on this platform that mother should educate boy child along with the girl child. To the girl child, how to protect herself. To the boy child, how to take care of the female gender. So what is the importance of the female gender? So if she educate her child in a proper way and nurture him, definitely when he grow up, he remember the morals taught by his mother and every child love his mother. So definitely is going to follow and there will be excellent environment on the earth, and Mother Earth will be rejoiced by the beautiful behavior of the boy child or boys or male. So this is very important. So we understood there is no security for girl because of the inappropriate behavior of the male gender. So this is very important. We had to address them. So even educated girls, women are also facing sexual harassment. So they male should understand if a girl say no means no. So again, they should not force her. So that is also boys should understand. Then the other thing is girls also should know what are the acts or the rules government is framed. Even the office, they have set their rules. So she has to know everything, and she has to act wisely and take to the notice of the higher authorities immediately. So thank you very much. I would like to thank Ms. Raina Tandon. Ma'am, thank you very much. Always your speech will be so inspiring. So thank you very much, ma'am, for the wonderful work you are taking up. And you have given us good insight about the post. Thank you very much, ma'am. I would like to thank Afroza Akhtar Tina. Ma'am, sorry, I couldn't hear your great speech. I missed because of my personal emergency work. Thank you very much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and immediately joining us and delivering your excellent message. Thank you very much, ma'am. I thank Ms. Supriya Kumaravellan, ma'am. Thank you very much. Really, there is a dress code. Whatever the dress code we maintain, boys will be get attracted. So even an infant baby, what kind of dress she wear, how she attracts the boy. So really, it's true, ma'am. Dress code is whatever the dress code we maintain, they will try their best level to harass us. So dress is not rated. Even the research has shown dress code, whatever the dress the girl wear, in no way it is connected. It is only the mindset of the boy. It has to be transformed. Thank you very much, ma'am. I would like to thank Dr. Lovelyn P. Yo. Thank you very much, ma'am. Always, you're a wonderful woman. I heard your speech thrice. Every time you give us excellent insight and input, which are very much important. I thank every guest who here attended and made this program a grace. And thank you very much for understanding the problem, the barriers, and how to overcome. I thank each and every one. Thank you very much. I thank especially Tasneem Ali, ma'am. Thank you very much for your wonderful moderating work. Really, you're superb, ma'am. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That was delightful. Thank you. Thank you.